So last year we started seeing some changes in my mother, and because of that we took her to a neurologist, and she was diagnosed having the early stages of some dementia, or memory problems is what we were told. So at that point I started doing some investigating into dementia just to educate myself. I was led to learn of a 4-part seminar that was actually given by Kelly Harris at Cascades at Verde. It was wonderful. So I'm going to do 4 different videos. This is the first video in that series, and it's just learning what dementia is and kind of how to deal with people with dementia. It's just kind of the beginning part of it, but if you are in that position, I feel for you, and hopefully this will help you understand it a little bit better. But take a listen. So one thing that I learned going through her class was, once you've met one person with dementia, you've met one person with dementia. It's not something that they're all the same. So like me, I've got multiple sclerosis, and not all people with multiple sclerosis all have the same symptoms. So the same thing with dementia. Alzheimer's is a form of dementia, and just because my mom may have it doesn't mean I'll get it. So I think that's kind of interesting to know. Dementia can be reversible or irreversible. So reversible dementia could be things like infections. Sometimes infections may make a person seem like they're not with it, or they can't remember, and once the infection clears up, the dementia goes away. Irreversible dementia would be something like Alzheimer's, like Crutchfeld-Jacob dementia, frontotemporal dementia. So there's a couple, well, up to 100 different types of dementia, so it's not just limited to one. Alzheimer's itself accounts for 60 to 80% of all the dementia out there. It is the only cause of death that's in the top 10 that has no known cure. So I know they're working really hard for a cure for Alzheimer's. So warning signs of dementia, here are a few. Memory loss or disruption in your normal life. Trouble understanding visual images and spatial images. Sometimes if a person goes to sit down and they miss the chair, things like that. Poor judgment, withdrawal from work or social activities. Then normal signs of aging, making occasional errors when balancing your checkbook, forgetting something but remembering it later. So forgetting someone's name, those are just normal signs of aging. So we all have those things. So she also showed us a video, and on the slides you can see the URL so you can watch it too. There's a lady out there, Teepa Snow, and she's actually coming to the Buncombe United Methodist Church December the 10th for a whole day. So if you know of anyone who has dementia, as a dementia caregiver, they probably know her name, but what Teepa does is she shows, and in the video she showed how to handle up someone with dementia, how to handle it the correct way, and it was really, really interesting. So take a watch of that video because it was really, really cool. When I was at another senior seminar yesterday, I heard that there are only 200 more seats available for the Teepa Snow, and it's free and they feed you lunch. So if you're interested in going December the 10th, you know, let me know and I can direct you where to go. So this particular slide just kind of shows you the difference between a normal brain or a brain with dementia. And basically a brain with dementia has plaques on it, kind of like it does with my MS. So I'll have different plaques or scars, if you will, in the brain, and that's kind of the same thing with dementia, and that can affect those with it cognitively. So you'll have some of that. The next few slides show you the difference between a normal brain, a healthy brain, and a brain with Alzheimer's. So basically it's just kind of shrinking. So, and you know, it's given me a lot of empathy for folks with dementia. And actually my 13-year-old son came to the 4-night seminar with us, and I was really glad that he did, so he could learn what empathy was, because he's 13. He didn't know what empathy is. So I was glad for him to have come with us so he can know what mom might be going through over the next few years. A lot of this comes from the part of your brain called the hippocampus, and a good way to remember it is a hippo sitting on a campus. So it's kind of like it's smothering it. So, and that's kind of what's going on. I thought that was a neat way to remember it if you're so inclined. So ways that we help and we hurt, I think it's really interesting, because rather than just getting mad at someone for, you know, something that they did, they can't control it. So they don't know that they've done it. So I think that's really important to recognize. Again, some early symptoms are coming up with the right words or names. I've noticed that in myself, my just like I'm doing right now, my cognitive, just kind of trying to find that right word, I just have a hard time with sometimes. So performing tasks in social settings sometimes can be challenging. Trouble with planning and organizing, that's one thing I've noticed with my mom when it comes time to bake a cake. Coming up with all the ingredients just is a lot of information to process for her. So that's one thing that I've noticed with my own mom. How to do harm: don't correct, don't rush, make things simple, be upbeat. So slow down, be reassuring, be smiling. So there was a lot of things we learned in that 4-week class. So I'm excited to go to the next phase, the next part, so keep watching. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to giving you more content.